Oh, he said, she said, they said, we said, well, keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, she's a real deal, keeping it real for real, keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, all inclusion, no confusion. But he said, she said, clearing the drama with Wanda.
Hey, and you are tuned in to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. So happy to be here. I got to start off this day by wishing a big, large, gigantic, huge, humongous happy birthday to the founder of Intellectual Radio, Earl the Other Winfrey. Happy birthday, Earl.
Happy birthday, brother.
So we're asking everybody on Facebook. You may not even know him. If you know him, if you do, we all know and love him. He's the founder, creator. He gave us the voice. We all get a voice to share what we love to talk about. And we're changing our icons, our profile pics on. Even if you do it for a few hours, we like to turn it black, turn the profiles black. And here at Intellectual Radio, who helps us feed your brains. So today's show is brought to you by Allstate Insurance. If you need auto, home, or life insurance, you can call Sal. When I wanted my rates lowered on my auto insurance, I called my friend Sal. He got lower rates for me, and he will take care of you too. You can tell I sent you. Call 708-599-5100, 708-599-5100. You are in good hands with Allstate. So I have two big events. I know everything is big and huge today for me. I see that keeps coming out of my mouth. Events coming up that I would love for you to attend. We're going to be doing bedroom bingo. Now, this ain't your mama's bingo, okay? So don't bring your mama. This ain't the bingo for mama. What's your face, Kara?
Bedroom
bingo. Bedroom bingo. Yes. Wednesday, August 29th. We have over $500 we're going to be giving away in prizes and giveaways. So it's going to be a fun time. You can walk out with tons of prizes, gifts at 6 to 9 p.m. at Ravens Place, 13031 Western Avenue in Blue Island. You can get your tickets. Entrance is free, but if you want to play, it's $25. You can get your ticket at info@becomingdateable.com or bedroombingo@gmail.com on the Cash App if you want to pay with the Cash App. Love to have you out. It's going to be a good time. I don't know. You don't have to be good to play bingo, right? Bingo is just luck.
Can you clarify the bedroom part of the bingo?
When you get there.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's some
because I play bingo every Friday night.
Really?
You play every Friday night?
I do. I go every Friday night. I cannot make it to the club until 11:15 because bingo didn't let me out to 10 o'clock.
Really?
p.m. I do.
Well, bring some of those ladies with you. We may shock them
No,
with the
you
bedroom
said
bingo.
don't bring your mama. Now I can't bring.
Well, unless your mama like having some fun. Some of y'all mamas. Come on. What? What you just say? Titty? Booty 9. No. Well, I don't know. It may be that. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
We can say titty here. I just learned something. Intellectual Radio likes to use the word titty when we play bingo. So, yes.
I've
titty
never
7.
been in the bedroom and said bingo.
you have said bingo.
You probably said other words.
Synonyms for bingo, perhaps.
But you never said bingo, baby. No. Okay.
So when they say, 69, that's not. 69. Bingo.
I just want to say, in case anyone under the age of 21 is watching this show right now, that Intellectual Radio does not endorse
bedroom bingo. They will be endorsing it, but not here now. Okay, so come out, play it. Yes, there's gonna be some gifts that are kind of they're gonna be fun. Candy, I should get her name correct. Bedroom bingo is going to be a good time. So come out. That's Wednesday, August 29th from 6 to 9. Bedroombingo@gmail.com. Cash App if you want to play or just come out and watch. You can do that too. And then I am so ecstatic to be hosting the red carpet this year of the Buzzing Off Awards. So I'm like, what you wearing, Target? I'm really excited to see what the designers will be at the Buzzing Off Awards. And I'm going to ask, what are you wearing? Who are you wearing? Girl, I got on dots my last year volunteer dog.
Cute from the River Oaks.
River Oaks. I'll be going there for real.
I
Though.
do too. That's why I
That's
shouted them
cute.
out. They be having some cute stuff.
I'm wearing that for real, Valencia. So it's going to be honoring our community leaders such as Mary Datcher and Reggie Cotton, owner of Ravens Place. So it's going to be a good time. Earl Winfrey was one of our past winners last year. He was honored at the Buzzing Off Awards. So love to have you out. Come say hi to me on the red carpet. Go to Buzzing Off with 3 Z's for tickets to that. So my guests have been chiming in already. Fun people. I'm so happy to have them here. David, hello.
What's going on?
Humanity in the Headlines here at IntellectualRadio.com. He is visiting us. Valencia, we haven't seen you in a while. Hello.
Months.
I've been working hard on the railroad. Working hard. They had me on lockdown.
Oh, the live long days. Tink.
Yes.
Tink.
Yes.
And then Okara.
Hey.
And now I'm going to be giving out, if you guys want to call in, you can, some tickets September 8th to the stage play Ladies Night Unmasked. I interviewed them a couple weeks ago, and they are such a fun cast. 5 women go out for a night, and a lot of things happen, and they'll reveal what transpires on these lady night out. I have 2 tickets for the first caller who calls in, 2 tickets to Ladies Night Out. If you go to the play, you won't be able to come to the red carpet, but I'm okay with that as long as you're doing something fun. The play is at Prairie State College, September 8th. So 2 tickets for our first caller. So our topic today, me from Dear David, who saw it on Facebook, and a lot of our topics come from our Facebook group, He Said, She Said. And please join the group. Love to have you. We have these same conversations in the group all week long, all day long. We always debating about something. They're debating about money. Your man giving you money right now is going down in that on the pages. But this one came from David, and what did the meme say? What did it say? You're a real man if you real men.
Real men take care of other men's children or something like that.
I'm gonna try to get it.
Something like that. I shared it with you, didn't I?
Lord.
You did, yeah.
I
Something
think
like
I
that. I'm gonna go to Facebook and you said, Lord,
Jesus.
you a real man? Would you do it? Wait, don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet.
I think me and this brother can answer that on the count of 3.
About to come out the gate. Good
Dig
thing,
it.
baby. Good thing. Let's go.
Say again. Oh, you waiting on me to read it? Give me a
Yes.
second.
I said me and this brother can give it. I guarantee we gonna say the same thing if I give it the count of 3.
Did you see the movie? What is the movie that happened in where it was The Man, and I think men expect the women to take care of their offspring, but you guys are like, no way. But what is the
2
movie
completely
with Denzel?
different situations.
I know. I knew we were going there, Wanda. I know you're
It's
not
2
surprised.
completely different situations.
Wait a minute. Let me read it first.
Go
Give me a
ahead.
second.
Knock yourself out.
How is that 2 different? 1 second.
You want to read it first, or you want me to?
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you?
gonna read it first. I
Okay,
gotta
go
find
ahead.
it. Give me a second. Get my
Go
eyeballs on,
ahead.
'cause, my little eyesight just leaving me.
I see.
A real man is the one who stays with his wife even if she gets pregnant by another man.
So that's the exact same thing that happened in that movie.
Exact same thing. Just with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, just the wife came home with the baby.
So let's talk about it both ways because it's very interesting to me. And thank you to everybody who shared this. Tucson said, wife pregnant, but not by me. That ain't my wife. Yeah. So, but people do this. This happens, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
It happens.
It doesn't happen.
It happens,
No, it
but it
doesn't.
happens more.
I've
That,
seen
like
it
you
before.
said, Wanda, the woman is more expected to deal with it and not let that come in between them. But the man, it's just it's one of those double-sided
Not at
things
all.
that isn't fair. That we just
What
gotta
are you
at all.
saying not at all for, David?
Not at all.
The man I
There was a man on this
Not at
show
all.
a few
Would you like me
weeks
to answer?
ago.
You want me to answer real quick?
Give me. I'm going to just
No, tell
mention
me
this
what he
real
said.
quick. There was a man on here a few weeks ago with his wife, and he said we have 3 children, and then he labeled that one of the children when the time frame and math was kind of off with like how he labeled it when he was talking about them. In my head, I was sitting here thinking. So during a break or argument in their marriage, she got pregnant, and he's raising the girl, and he said he's very close to the baby, and so
yeah,
That's
it
a little
happens.
different.
I'm sure it happens.
That's a little different.
She got pregnant by another man while she cheated on him and got
Well,
pregnant
not
by
While they
cheated.
weren't
They separated.
together.
And see, that's the part of the thing. I think the acceptance part comes with people who either A, that's not their deal breaker, which that has to be, I'm guessing, a very small percent. But I think the other part is the guilt. That man probably felt that he had something to do with why his wife was not with him. He probably took that on as, I kind of put her out there. That happened while we were separate. He made justifications in his head because he probably slept with someone else in the meantime. They just didn't get pregnant. So he probably dealt with that. But most men are not going to deal with that. Even if they have done you dog wrong, they are just not. Egos won't let them.
Well, let me respond to what you said just a moment ago. And you said that men expect, if a man goes out, cheats on his wife, gets another woman pregnant, that the man expects for his woman to stay. That is not true. Women stay in that situation because women are competitive. If you and I are married and then I cheat on you and get her pregnant, you're not going to let her win. So you're not going anywhere. That's the difference, number one. But number two, if you and I are married and then you cheat on me and you get pregnant, I got a daily reminder of you cheating on me for 9 months. And most men are not going to do that.
Right,
Now,
the
the situation
ego
you
won't
just,
let you.
no, it's not
I'm
about
talking
ego. It's
I'm
about
not
I've got a
saying two women
reminder
are
in
pregnant
my.
at the same time.
No, that's not what I said. I said she and I are pregnant, or she and I are married. She gets pregnant. She goes and cheats on me and comes home pregnant. Like the example I said, for me being her husband, I gotta
Understood
watch.
that. I'm talking about the other on the woman's side, but go ahead.
Right, I'm saying I'm not gonna watch that for 9 months. So that's a constant reminder of you
So
cheated on
I'm
me.
talking about the opposite being the man gets another. They're not both pregnant, so there's no competition.
Right.
I'm not
No,
pregnant.
he
No,
doesn't
I wasn't
mean
saying
pregnant
competition like that.
He's talking about
I mean
just that
women
woman
compete.
and women competing. That
Right.
now I'm gonna stay. He's saying the only reason why women stay because we want to prove to you just because you had this baby, you ain't win.
Right,
So
that's
this-
what I
Still
meant.
got
Here-
him.
That's what I meant.
Here's the thing about that kind of trips me out about the double standard is that because men make different choices than women make, all of a sudden it's perceived as if it's a double standard. For instance,
Dig it.
like he was just saying, if somebody got pregnant on me, I'm not staying. And so if a woman chooses to stay, because it's not as if we're making her stay, if she chooses to stay,
Exactly.
that does not mean we had an expectation that she would stay or that there's a double standard. It's just that women make different decisions when it comes to that than men.
Exactly.
But once
That's not
the
a
woman,
double standard.
I understand that. But once the woman makes that decision to stay for whatever her reasons being, and except for the very low petty of competition, it's still. I think that's where we say the expectation comes in because now those extra, like you said, you don't want to see this pregnancy for 9 months that you did not put there. So now, yeah, I'm trying to stay and work with you, but then now you're not being delicate to me having to understand that you got to go over here and check on this other fat belly across the way because she want to pick on some Doritos, and now you got the ride over there, but I'm trying to rebuild with you, but you won't cut it off. So that's why I really couldn't even
But that
explain
goes back-
Stan because I can't do it.
But that goes back to what my man just said. If you make the choice, if you as the woman the choice to stay with your man and you know he's got another woman pregnant, and you have the if again you and I are married, I cheat on you, I get her pregnant. If I'm not going to check on her, you're gonna think less of me because she's carrying my baby. Now, if you and I don't have a kid,
No, I won't. I'll
yes,
be
you will.
like, she got pregnant. She knew you was with me. Now
No,
she got to go through that
no.
on holler when the baby's born
you
or
would
whatever.
no, you would.
You
No, I
should
would-
think
I would-
level.
I would.
I'm already thinking less of you for
Yeah,
getting
because
the
she
woman
already pregnant. Right. She's
But-
pregnant. I do think less of you already.
Well, again, I guess my point is and this is a larger point, and this is a good example. I'm glad you said that. If you decide to stay in your relationship and you forgive your partner, we don't got to talk about it anymore.
True. That's
if you
why-
keep bringing it, if you keep
absolutely.
bringing it up, you haven't forgiven
I
me,
agree.
and that's a lot of times two people could make it past an impasse like this. But if you say, okay, I forgive you, and now I got to hear about it every time I'm headed towards the door because you think I'm going to go see that whatever, that chick, whatever y'all call her.
But also, the other flip side to that is when you say you're going to accept it and forgive it and move on, the person who has inflicted the wound does not get to dictate how you need to orchestrate your steps to make this work. And that's a lot of times where it fails. It's not necessarily the person who accepted to stay. It's the person who say, okay, you accept it, so now just get over it. There's something in between acceptance.
Those are two different things. I completely agree. But just because I'm sorry, let me just get this one part out. Just because you forgive me doesn't mean that you get to put me through hell randomly at your whim whenever the thought just crosses your mind. Because
it does.
But no, because if it does, because if you're doing that, you haven't forgiven me.
So how long are you gonna give her to forgive you? As soon as she says I forgive you, you want her not to mention it again.
I'm glad he said that, because that's exactly where I was gonna go with it. Because to me, when somebody is quote unquote they forgive you or they stay or whatever, and then they're constantly putting you through hell because because they decided to stay, that's one of the signs to me that it's a competitive thing, that sometimes women or people are just like, no, you're not going to break up my marriage, or you're not going to be the one to take but they haven't actually forgiven you, and they just going to sit there and just, constantly torment you over your decision. Personally, if it was me, if I was the husband, she wouldn't have a choice on whether she was staying, because I would just divorce her, because I'm not going to hear it. Because you're not going to sit here and say on one hand you staying, because if you decide that you're staying, to me, then you have accepted it and you should forgive me. Or if you're going to suffer, you need to suffer in silence, because I'm not going to hear it. I'm not going to sit up there and sit in the house and somebody is constantly complaining about me or constantly taking.
But let's say this.
You're not going to have the choice with me.
That's all I'm saying. Let me say this, because I was actually having this conversation about.
I want to bring in what the people are saying too.
Okay, because I was actually having this conversation about a minister who's recently in the news who was accused of the same thing. He got another woman pregnant. He's married. Blah blah blah. So speaking as a married man, you got to be really, really, really comfortable to have unprotected sex with your mistress and get her pregnant. You got to be really, really. I'm saying that as a man. As a woman, women are really, really. Women are scientists when it comes down to, if a woman does not want to get pregnant, she's not going to get pregnant. So again, that's the other psychological part of it for a man. Not only am I physically watching you walk around and you're carrying another's man, I have to get in my head. I've got to deal with the psychological torture that you are so irresponsible and you disrespected this relationship so much that you had unprotected sex with another dude and let him bust in you and get pregnant, and now you want to come home and you want me to take care of you and that baby? You crazy as hell.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Love me, if you love
it's not in your face.
Get her pregnant.
It's not in your face.
No, I'm talking about the getting pregnant part.
No, but I'm saying it's not in your face.
It is in your face.
It's not in your face.
It is in your face.
You're
in my face.
If you
I'm looking at
you and I,
and there's a baby that's going to be in
my
face if you're going to be a stand-up father. This is so much in my face. Now she has to call. You have to check. It's in my face.
But and why didn't you protect yourself?
Yes.
If you're going to cheat, it's the same difference. If you're going to cheat, why not offer the same kind of take care of yourself and not bring home a baby?
Okay, can I just
say
something?
Y'all saying it as if the same couple that did the thing. Y'all talking like, well, shoot, if she did it, he should have did it. I mean, it's not that.
No, we're seeing the pain.
No,
we're seeing the pain. To having it in your face.
Wait,
is the same.
stop talking over each other. 1 second.
It's trying to be seen as if you're making it as if the man's position is more painful than the woman that's in that position, because you're saying it's in your face. And what we're telling you, the same things that you have to do as a man to that woman that you have gotten pregnant, it's in our face.
You may not feel that way because you're not a woman, but I swear to you, we're thinking about it constantly. It's not going to be because the baby's I'm not walking around, because we don't see 8 months in the stomach. Women carry that stuff. Just because we're not physically seeing, you all need the physical. We're mental people. So mentally, everything you've done to her, we don't have to physically see it to have it with us all the time.
All I'm going to say is that if you look at the dynamic of men and women out there, there are way more women who are knowingly dating. I mean, I'm sure everybody has seen this. I've seen couples where the chick gets the woman is not even pregnant 6 months and she already dating somebody else. So again, I'm just saying, like, that dynamic, I'm saying, for a man can't take care of, because that's what you're really talking about. You're talking about a man taking care of his wife and his unborn child when she went out and had sex with somebody else. Usually that dynamic doesn't exist. As far as like it's that dynamic of being a provider doesn't exist. So that's part of it too. I mean, there's a lot of variables in here, but again, I'm just saying it. I'm not saying that men feel it worse, I'm just telling you how men feel.
But you're also telling us how women feel.
No, I'm not.
When you say it's not the same. When you
say you're not, you all don't have to see it. You all not gonna feel it. We have to see it out. But it seems like you're speaking from our perspective of what we say and feel, and I don't believe you're correct in how you think we feel.
And so let me make that distinction. I'm not trying to tell women how they feel. What I am saying is that if Valencia and I are married and I cheat on her with you and you get pregnant and you on the other side of town, she's only going to be, that's only going to be in her face when I say, hey babe, I got to go take Wanda to her doctor's appointment, or hey babe, I'm talking about being in her face. I'm not talking about what's going on in your head right now. I'm just talking about being in your face.
Our head is more important than our face.
All right. So let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Are y'all actually saying that it is the same to watch watch a person grow than it is to if a person is growing on the other side of the town and you don't see it in your face every day? Are y'all saying the agony is the same?
Yes.
See, that's where we disagree.
Yeah.
I don't know what a man's agony is like. But I know a woman. Let me speak from the woman's perspective. Just because I physically don't see the belly in front of me, I'm thinking every time you lay next to me, I'm thinking of what you did to her, how you did it. I'm mentally torturing myself. I don't have to see the belly. This has never happened to me. I know I'm talking like it did, but this has never happened to me. But somebody could do something to me now and I can't get it out of my head and I'm not looking at it, seeing it.
All right. So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. So let's say this. So let's say your husband, he gets a woman pregnant on the other side of town. Something happens where she loses her house or something, right? And he's like, well, she's got my baby. Is it okay if she comes and stays here? Do you think that would be worse, watching her live in your house and grow, than it would be if she was on the other side of town?
I'm not the one that's staying. I'm like you dudes. I'm out. I'm out as soon as you tell me you had another baby.
And I agree.
I can't deal with the torture in my head, and I will torture you. I'm going to torture you. So I'm not agreeing. I'm not agreeing.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying stay. I'm not staying.
No, but I'm asking you, what do you think?
What you're saying.
Would,
I get what you're
would
saying.
the agony be worse?
That extra layer, but here's where there's a difference. You and I already reside together when I do this, and I come home. He and I are together. I come home pregnant with your child. We were already living together, right? So he's dealing with that dynamic same way if it was flipped and we were together and Wanda was pregnant. I have to deal with that dynamic of the infidelity. Now, you say he got to bring Wanda here. Now, that's another level of care. That's not now the situation we originated in that you're dealing with. You're asking me now to, on top of deal with this woman that's pregnant, now we're going to care for her under our roof.
I'm
you're
not doing
adding that. We were already living in this, and you, if you stay with me, you've accepted that. And if I stay with you, I accepted the child over there. But then to come back and throw another layer is not an equal argument for the original position.
But using your example, the woman who comes home pregnant to her husband by another man is asking her husband to do the same thing. You're asking that man in that situation to take care of this, to bring this third person.
That's still don't act like I'm thinking a man should stay. I don't think any man would stay.
Why you getting mad?
You're bringing the fourth person, man.
You looked a little mad for a minute.
Yeah, I'm not staying either, for the record. And what I'm saying to you is that I'm asking you to care for a third person.
So you're saying,
but you're asking the woman to take care of the
I don't care. This is a fictitious.
So you're saying, no, right? No.
Okay.
So your thing is, There's 4 against 3.
Yeah, now we got four. It's 4 against 3 now.
Okay, I got you.
It's 4 against 3. Now you're not asking me to be accepting of the child.
Okay.
Now you saying bring the child and the mama. That's a different dynamic. I didn't ask you, can he come stay with us? Now that's a different dynamic. So that doesn't clear the argument up. That doesn't prove the point.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Because now
you're
asking me to directly deal with her instead of just the child that came from that. Because when I come home to you, you're dealing with the child that came from that. You're not dealing with him.
Here's what I think you all are. I think the two of you, or what I'm hearing is that you're like really going the extra mile to try to make these two situations equal. This is where it's not equal, and this is not anyone's fault. This is just biology. When a woman is pregnant, wherever she goes, the baby is with her.
Okay.
So again, if you and I are married and you come home pregnant by someone else, that baby is with you. So like he just said, it's always in my face. But if I get her pregnant and she's a city away, a county away, a state away, that is different.
Okay, now so every month when the money is leaving out to go over there,
every week
when
to pay his child support,
when you got to go on the trip, then now we got to bring this baby because we going to Disney World, and how dare you leave the baby? And how dare I ask you not to take your other baby?
Why y'all bringing up? Why y'all introducing extra variables?
No, because these are the variables that are. You just said right.
No. I was no
child support.
I'm saying
child support doesn't start until after the baby is born.
So, but you all just argue being stand up men as
Hold
far
on.
as going over to check on her and be there, or I would think you were bad. So we have already established that the point was that the men are going to be involved from day one, and if we say we accept it, you shouldn't have to go through anything. You shouldn't have to jump over any hoops or make me feel entrusted in you again because I said the words I accept and I'm.
That is probably going to be the time when you're going to make the decision on whether or not you should stay. And I guess, in my opinion, it would be harder for me to watch a baby grow in a woman and make that decision to stay because it's a constant.
Why does one have to be harder than the other? Why is this even a debate over who's harder?
Tucson agrees with us.
What? Wait, let me stop and read this.
What just happened?
Tucson said he with the ladies.
I need to touch Tucson head. You got a fever?
She said, it's like Kristen. She said a better analogy is if the man is there, not the same. So she was with the same argument that we had, that you guys are not making the equal argument that whoever it is that went outside of the marriage, the pain is still the same.
Sure.
The elements may be different, but the pain is still the same.
Sure.
And it's whether or not you would stay or not. And then what do you do after you stay? None of us here would stay. So we kind of
making this
we don't have anybody here
that would
stay.
Agree.
There's no one on the feed
that I wouldn't stay though.
We really freestyling this argument.
I do know that. I can't forgive. Every time the baby, I'm going to say I forgive. That's why I know we just have to end this, because I could say I forgive, but every time you talk about you going to pick up Junior and we got kids, got to split us. Every time I'm going to want to snap, it's going to boil in me. I'm going to make you miserable. Yeah. I'm going to leave you because we're going to be miserable.
Yeah,
we're going to be miserable.
That's why you wouldn't even have a choice.
And
that's a good thing.
Think it out is that I wouldn't stay. Yeah. But good luck to you.
But that's a good thing because because half of the time people waste a lot of times in situations like this where relationship is going to end eventually because people are not being honest with themselves about what their levels of tolerance are. And all four of us are just saying we couldn't tolerate that level of betrayal. So, again, I'm not trying to say who would experience it worse, the man or the woman. I'm just saying I can't imagine being in this situation. What would be worse than because you both of you ladies were saying that the mental thing is what's going to drive you crazy. I think that the thing that we're saying that the men are saying is that we've got if it's our wife who comes home pregnant, we've got the mental and the visual. That's all we're saying.
I heard you.
No, I mean,
right.
I understand you saying watching the physical belly is hard. I agree that that's hard to physically see it, and that the baby will have to be in your house and you have to look at him every day. But we're not going to stop thinking about that baby just because we don't see the baby. Just because the
we still
baby
have to
is
deal with
2
the baby.
miles away
Agreed.
and 3 miles away.
Agreed.
Gotcha.
When she calls about the baby, can you bring some diapers? And she's going to make a point, unfortunately, women are this way, to make sure I know that she got his baby over there.
Yes.
She's going to torture her. So
Absolutely.
she's not going to go quietly in the night and wait for you to come see your
if
little
so, she would have
junior.
went to the chop shop and it wouldn't even be
you
here.
read-
She
can you
She
read-
wouldn't even have the baby if she
Exactly.
didn't want to be a torture
Can you-
chamber for
Yes.
us.
Can you read Tasia? Is that am I saying her name?
Tasia.
Tasia Adams. Can you read her? Because this is kind of what I was trying to say
Said
earlier.
all the guys saying they leaving, but women stay with y'all the time for getting another woman pregnant.
But they're saying the women stay not because they want to stay for the man. They're staying because they're competitive against other women. They're only staying to prove to you that you're not going to get my husband.
Right.
So I'm going to stay and deal with his ass just because you're not taking my man.
And torture him.
And torture him.
If
I
you
think
think a man is a
it's more-
prize that cheated on his wife and had a child with you, then Merry Christmas to you. I will wrap it up, put a bow on it, however you want it. You can have that. And
his
so I'm
baby.
just so glad that I'm so serious. And if they think that's a prize, then that's really sad. And like I said, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
I don't know.
Toussaint said the pain and embarrassment is the same. But if you leave, you don't love your spouse in the agape love kind of way.
Agape.
Agape.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Love your spouse.
Well,
Say the word again.
I guess
Agape.
that just made us even. Because
Agape
she didn't love me
yeah.
either.
Agape love is like the way you
Yeah,
love
yeah.
God and blah blah blah.
With
No,
through
and
all the flaws.
But
Right.
how come if they cheated on you, they don't love you in the
Agape way.
agape way?
Hey,
that's what I just
we
said.
both unagape.
Hey,
Right, right.
And that makes us even.
We
So,
both. I don't even know what that means, but we both on the same page with that.
uh-huh.
I don't think you're more agape
Mhm.
if you stayed than the one who cheated.
You could be more of a fool.
Well, but what I will say behind what you just said to kind of coattail on what Tasia said is that there's a ton of women out there who stay in relationships with a guy while he's having other children, and it's not even necessarily that a guy is rich or famous or powerful or anything. You can just go in the hood and see that dudes be
And why is that though? I really don't. I mean, I understand love and your marriage, and some people do believe. Let me stop. I do know that there are people who believe that this is till death do us part, and through better or worse, and this is their worst. When they add that they took the vows to stay, that this is part of the what is worse to someone in a marriage, and that may be the worst, and they vowed to be there.
I think a lot of times it's just people scared to leave.
Scared to leave.
Yeah, I think at times it's just people scared to leave.
I think another piece of it is that they're, and I sound like a broken record on this, but I haven't been here, so I'm gonna repeat this. We keep selling that these are the things that make you successful. When you come out on the other end of all this mess, that you now can say 30 years we was in there, the ups, the downs, the extra babies.
With him,
I rode or died this thing through. It's like, and when that's what we keep telling people, so they're okay. They're okay.
What was that? A foule?
Yeah, a foule.
Hi, you called in and he said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com. What's your name and where are you calling from? And hopefully you're calling for us.
I am calling from Fort Worth, Texas, and this is your boy DJ Low Budget, just chiming in on y'all show. How y'all doing?
Hi, DJ Low Button. I'm curious about your name. But
that's my little brother.
Okay.
Hey, bro.
I'm like Low Button.
I thought he said
Low Button.
At first, I thought he said low budget.
Say low budget. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it.
All right, look, I got $100 for 4 hours. Can you do that?
Can we get it a low budget? Low budget. Okay, we'll do that another show. What you think, little brother, on this topic?
Okay, on this topic, it is 99.9% chance that the man is going to leave.
Yes, I think you're right.
The reason why it's a double standard is because one of these gentlemen mentioned about the whole visual. See, the thing is, and it's an unfortunate double standard. I am acknowledging that too as well. The thing is, when a guy gets a female pregnant, he's not gaining the baby weight. He's still able to function. So you're trying to get past the fact that your wife cheats on you and is carrying the baby. So it's going to mess you up altogether versus the man gets somebody else pregnant, she on the other side of town. And so when she looks at you, she's not thinking baby all the time, even though I'm sure there's a psychological effect and all the pain and the hurt that comes with. I'm not saying women hurt less. Some women stay with the cheating man because he provides a lifestyle and what she's comfortable with. And she feels like if she steps away from that, then she's giving it to this new baby mama, so to speak. So it isn't always about love. It's about people just settling. Like when people talk about black love and old school love, that's what happened back then. When Big Mama had those 12 kids. Who's going to take a woman with 12 kids? Might as well put up with his mess because ain't nobody going to want me with all these kids.
I heard that, brother.
That's true. I totally agree with you. And I have to tell you some shout outs on the Facebook page. Kenyetta Collins Cooley says, shout out to DJ Low Budget.
Hey, Kiki. Kiki, do you love
Thank you. I totally agree.
Yeah. So that's why it's going to be different.
I do.
And I want to add one more thing before I go. Just because somebody gets pregnant, it does not mean that they necessarily had unprotected sex. Let's just be clear that the only way you can be 100% safe sex is not having it at all. Condoms are not 100%.
That's
all
true.
Right. All right, I can dig it.
And I do think even women can try to. I know you mentioned. Thank you for calling DJ Low Budget. We're gonna talk about the low budget name later. Thank you. I do think too when you say, well, women are more careful about being pregnant. I don't think they're any more careful than anybody else, or we wouldn't have so many women that have
cancer. Personally moral.
No, what I said is that when women don't want to get pregnant, they don't get pregnant. That's all I'm saying.
No.
So,
or they have ways to get rid of the baby. How about that?
One of the
they
other.
have ways of taking care of it.
Let me modify it. When a woman doesn't want to have a baby, she's not going to have a baby. She's not going to have a baby, whether that's birth control, whether that's an abortion, whatever. So again, Valencia and I married. She come home. She and I don't have no babies. We not pregnant. She didn't get pregnant by me. She telling me, let's wait. Oh, I'm not ready. Blah, blah, blah. Then she go get pregnant by another cat. And then I got to watch it and I got to think about it and I got to imagine it and blah, blah. That's, again, I'm just saying from the man's perspective, that's a very high bar to ask a man to tolerate.
That's a high to ask either one to tolerate.
Yeah, I think I think it should be I'm out of here on both sides, to be honest with you.
Because when you say that, like that's to ask a man to tolerate, you think women should though?
I did not say that.
I'm asking you a question.
No.
That was the question.
No.
Do you think that is different for women?
No, you asked me, do I think the woman should stay?
Whatever I asked, you said you're not saying that. I'm asking you that question. Whatever I just came out with, I can't remember.
I'm saying
whatever it was.
I'm not
asking the question.
I'm not presupposing that either gender is predisposed to only make one decision. I'm not saying that every woman is or should stay and every man should or is going to leave. Everyone is going to make the decision that they feel they can deal with based on how much they have invested in that other person. And for some people, infidelity that results in an unplanned pregnancy is not enough for you to sacrifice your relationship. For other people, like the four of us sitting here, it would be. So I'm not saying that don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying if you a woman, but you should do this, and if you a man, you should do this. I'm just saying what I couldn't do, and I can only see this particular situation through the prism of a man's eyes. And I'm just, and it's from
So it's not more difficult for a man than a woman. That's all I was asking. If that's what you were saying,
different.
And you're saying
it's different.
Okay. It's just different, not
it's
putting
different.
A level on it. It's
different.
Okay.
So women that deal with this situation, more women obviously stay in the situation. I don't know if anybody would come out to tell me why they stayed if anybody has ever dealt with that situation, because I love to know, why was it a competition thing, or you just loved him so much that you have pure, say the A word, love,
Agape.
agape love. And so you're staying because of pure love, or did you stay because it's what they say that it's out of sight, out of mind for most of the time, and you only have to deal once a month when she asks for money, and then you can get past it because it's out of sight, so out of mind for the majority of the relationship to some degree. And maybe that's why it's easier. Why more women do it. I'm not gonna say it's easier. Is that why more women do it? Stay with the man who has the baby while they're in a
I
relationship?
think most people deal with issues in their relationship, and if it's, I think the majority of people deal with things that are too difficult to navigate in the moment, and they treat it like out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be a baby. I think that's just human nature to just, if we don't have to deal with this right now, if we don't really, most people deal with problems like that. If we don't really have to deal with it right now, let's not deal with it. What you say?
No, I'm sorry.
She said she wants to know your opinion on it. He said he not staying
That
in his.
period was flat out. Okay, like I'm not staying. Those are my thoughts. That's it. I'm not staying. So none of the rest of this conversation
None of this
will be going
conversation
on
matters to me because
not
I'm
staying.
out of here as soon as you
I
get
know
pregnant.
that's
Why
right.
you?
My sentiment is exactly. I can't do it.
I
I
can't
just
do
I
it.
just
I ain't
I
no
can't.
can't
brother.
do it either.
But we do have Tasia who's asking. She said no one ever tries to find out why a person cheats. There are some deep-rooted issues. You can't always take it personal. She knows it sounds harsh, but it's true. They are struggling with rejection from mama or daddy, et cetera, et cetera. Do you understand your spouse? She says we got to get out of the fairy tale mindset of what marriage is. Then when reality hits, we won't be so shocked by what a cheating or husband wife did.
And it's not the cheating, it's that you got pregnant behind it. Let's say, I mean, I'm upset about cheating, but it's a little bit extra when you bring home some extra with the cheating. I think there's
Yeah.
another level to
Exactly.
what
I
to
will
it.
say this though. My answer stays the same.
I know that's right.
I don't care why you cheated if you bring home a baby.
I'm saying whether it's cheating or whether it's cheating and the baby came out of it. If I find out that you was cheating, yeah, I'm out.
You out even if you find out it's cheating with no baby involved. I'm asking just for clarity.
Yeah. To be clear, clarify. Cheating, I'm out.
Cheating with baby,
I'm out. Yeah, cheating, anything after it.
What if they cheat
I'm
on?
gone.
What if your wife cheat on her taxes? You going on there?
Not they.
Well,
it benefits them both.
That's different. That's
beneficial to him.
Did she get caught? Is she going to jail?
Then it's different. I'm out. If she's going to jail, I'm out.
If she going to jail, I'm out. Did I get like $2,000? Then maybe I can.
I'm in.
And I'm being facetious because here's the bottom line. No one ever goes into a relationship and says, you know what? Even if this person cheated on me, I would stay in this relationship. Even if this person hit me, I would say, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody goes into the relationship. Nobody ever, like you were bringing up the vows, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor. We say that, but we never really
don't mean it.
We really don't ever really think about the worse sort of, or the poorer, or we don't never really think. You know, you ask the average chick, you know, if your husband lost his job and they're getting married tomorrow, her answer is going to be different, you know, getting married tomorrow than it will be 6 months into the marriage or a year into the marriage. So I mean, we always romanticize and think about the you know, the best possible set of circumstances. And to your point, you know, it's that, like you were talking about, people talking about, oh, I made it 30 years and we did this and survived this and blah blah blah. That's the real out there of marriage.
But there's the difference. What I mean, there is a real of the struggle, but the real struggle should be, oh, you lost your job, they laid you lost your job because you were always drinking and you always late, and
Right.
You lost your job, but you generally lost your job. And then when you lost your job, what was your attitude at home when you lost your job? And see, we like to misconstrue a person's nagging versus what really is going on. So if you lose your job, and she stays with you with the attitude being good and you're trying some other things, women stay in those situations. I think women get a bad rap when they leave and people say, oh, they just bounce. No, they most of the time they didn't just bounce. There were other elements other than the money left the household. When the money left, the good attitude left, the nurturing left, the compassion left, all those things left because the man begins to soak in him feeling like he can't provide for his family. I mean, I'm hearing from men that's natural for a man to want to feel that way. He doesn't feel good when he can't. But then what does that look like to the woman? And what is the effect that it takes on the woman? And that's what I mean when I say, so there are worse. I'm not trying to say that there is no worse, but the worst should be the worst. You lost the job, but we were able to maintain happiness because we truly love each other. That the things that the money got us doesn't make us. We've had that stuff. We can deal without it because we'll get back to it because your attitude is good. You're still a hunter. You're still going to get back on top again. So there's a difference. So yeah, those are, you know what I mean?
I agree with
what we're preaching is if you stay with him because he had the girl and y'all learn to get along because y'all grown women and y'all understand it's a baby involved. That's what we're teaching is the mess. And that's what I disagree with. And that's what I don't want to preach. I want to put out the other, that it is better. There's going to be mess. It's not a fairy tale of no mess. There's a fairy tale of life messes and that two people that love each other enough to deal with them in a healthy way.
Like I think in relationships and all that, I think there's two type of wrongs. There's like, things you do that's wrong that can be fixed, and then there's like egregious stuff that people can do. Cheating, violence, things of that nature, destroying somebody's self-esteem. And I mean, I think that just by just regular flaws of human beings, you can have peaks and valleys just off of regular flaws because, sometimes as people, we get used to things. We don't appreciate things. And sometimes we have to come out of that in order to, show the type of appreciation for your spouse or whatever. And then there's things that I think that just like are serious character flaws that, in my opinion, warrant for you to be alone. And if I miss those in the beginning and I catch them later, then guess what? I'm going to depart. It's pretty much that simple.
I'm not saying.
It's 3:00. You tuned in to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. All the people who shared, Will Gay, John Russo, Tyson, joined the group 30 and Up Doing Us. They're part of our team here at Intellectual Radio. And everyone else, I don't see any more names. I'll go back and thank you guys in a minute. But when we come back, we'll be talking more about your wife is pregnant, but not by you.
Oh, he said, she said, they said, we said, we keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, she's a real deal, keeping it real for real, keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, all inclusion, no confusion. But he said, she said, clearing up the drama with Wanda.
Hey, it's me, Wanda B, and you are tuned in to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeart radio station, and we have been going at it. All in love, though. We talk these hot topics, and then they sizzle after. But we just like to keep it hot while we're here. This is brought to you by the Buzzing Off Awards. Love for you to come out and see our community leaders get honored September 8th. at Universal Center. Please contact buzzingoffawards.com and get your tickets. Also by Allstate, you are in good hands with Allstate. Contact Al. Tell him I sent you. If you need auto, home, or life insurance, the number is 708-599-5100. Tell Sal I sent you. I'm going to go to the comments real quick. We've been talking about your wife is pregnant, and we flipped it because I know they say they like for me to keep it even here. And if the husband is, your wife is pregnant or the husband is pregnant, what we do. So Kristen said our grandparents and aunties did this stuff all the time back in the day. They just didn't talk about it. I have quite a many friends who have siblings that I think even our NDOT has some siblings that happened during the relationship of their parents. So I know this is common. Kristen said this is old stuff. It really is old stuff, but just talking about it now because it's still happening. O'Kara's been eating too much cheese, huh? Long bathroom break, bro. No, O'Kara had to leave. O'Kara had to leave. He's
Patty.
staying for the first hour, Steezo. We're going to be joining Steezo. Oh, what are the dates? In September, Steezo, the Steezo Radio and He Says, She Said are going to clash on the Steezo show. We don't swear here on IntellectualRadio.com, but they let loose on Steezo Radio. So we're going to be bringing our topics to them September. I think it's 16th or 19th. I'll get the exact dates. But yes, shout out to Steezo Radio. You have to check him out Friday and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. I think I have the time right. Is it 9 or 10, Steezo? Check out Steezo Radio. LC Henderson, the man who taught me how to step, says sometimes either might stay in the situation because they have children already. And that's true too. I guess sometimes if you have, I'm speaking for where I am right now, I would leave if my children are older. I don't have to deal with it. But if I had young children and I wanted their father to still be a part of their life and now he has a child outside of the relationship, am I going to be the child, take the father away from my children because of this? I may actually contemplate staying for my children, maybe.
That's why a lot of them do stay, because that's a great point. Those are the dynamics that change people's minds, and it's all the time. Is not a foule, like I said, because those are some things that people think about. So as a woman, let's say you got 2-3 kids and you and your husband, and you thought life was good, right? And he comes and now he has this baby and you're thinking, if I walk away, now I have to get the child support and find a house and do this. And then he's going to have my children around that child anyway, whether I'm with him or not. And so they go with that whole thing and they never talk about the bigger thing is not the betrayal to them. It becomes more of the survival mode. But in the end, once you go into survival mode, whatever sends you into survival mode, when you come out of that, you're going to feel like you wasted your time. Because at some point, even when the kids get older and you still have to deal with this, because I think when you stay, I'm not saying always a cheater, but when you get older and past certain things and you allow certain things, you let people know what they can do. And me personally can never get to that level of trust that I would need with that person who has to deal with this woman and go elsewhere. And that then becomes, I think the dynamic is different. I'm not saying worse. I'm going to use his word. It's different. Now when the child is there and the woman has to have this other child come over all the time. And now this child is around and this child has to be cared for and things of that nature. Because when the woman is with the man, 9 out of 10, that man is to be a part of that child's life, the one that comes home to her husband. But the woman has to be involved after the fact. So now, you might be looking at little Junior saying, Junior ain't mine, but you don't see Junior's daddy like we have to see Junior's mom, and it's intertwined and that whole thing. And so I think there's a lot of aspects.
David said he don't want to see Junior. He don't think he want to see Junior, let alone his daddy.
Listen. And here's the other thing, and because I just thought about this, and there, I'll just say it because I'm not even going to qualify it. There's a lot of women out here who get in these situations and they'll let their main cat, they'll let their main dude think he's the father. And then it comes out later, oh, she cheated, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's that, and again, that's what makes it different because if I got you, you can't, a woman can't do that. A woman can't walk around pregnant and say, what you mean I'm pregnant? You can't, if you in your third trimester, some of y'all fourth trimester, you can't hide that. So again, that's another, and it kind of touches on what you're saying, that how the man, the woman, to kind of to your point, almost has to deal with that situation, but the man doesn't have to. Man can be like, I'd take him to the park and then take him back home, or I don't even want to. Hey, keep him over there, away from my. This is a comedian that talks about when your man has outside kids and then you take him to the family reunion and the grandmother be like, "Go play with the regular kids."
It happens. It really does happen.
Outside kids get treated differently.
They do. Do you see?
And they would by me. I'm sorry. I'm not that nice. I'm not. I would try to be, but I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like, oh,
I would cancel the whole Disney World trip.
You are a wonderful human being. I do not see you treating the children.
I would try my hardest because I know the child's innocent, but I'd have to keep telling myself that the child is innocent. He didn't ask to be here. He didn't ask to be here. The child is innocent. So I would try to treat him with the exact same love, but I don't want to be tortured that way. I don't want to have to deal with that. I really wouldn't want to have to keep making myself. That's and I would know I'm the bigger person, and I wouldn't blame the child, but I just wouldn't want him to come over that much,
right.
And I wouldn't want to keep him away from his dad.
I'd be like, we cancel. He got to go. We ain't even going to Disney World no more.
I know you go over.
We going to Kings Island now.
No, we ain't
going
to
Great America.
We ain't doing nothing.
Pull out the slip and slide.
You get treated like the side chick child. You don't get to go on all of these trips with us.
Baby,
side chick baby go to McDonald's and play in the playland. They don't go to Disney World. Get your stuff together. So we got a man that says why men should stay with their wife in this situation. I'll let you read
how sweet is that? That is sweet.
Brian Mallory. He said,
as a Christian man, boo. As a Christian man and a husband, my responsibility is to represent Christ. Okay. I can't even finish reading that.
I will read it.
You read
As
that.
a Christian man and husband, my responsibility is to represent Christ in the life of it went away on mine.
Of my wife and others. If Christ promised to never leave or forsake us, how could I not forgive my wife, heal our family, and as a result, show my children that true forgiveness is real, giving them an earthly example of a portion of God's forgiveness?
Yeah,
so Akira came back and said, would you say? He said, yes, I would. I can't put conditions on my forgiveness or love. It would be difficult. There are things that would need to be processed, but my family is a gift and ultimately my responsibility.
Oh, that is sweet. My cousin Bernard said, mama's baby, daddy maybe. And that's, I think, why some women take the gamble. And like, well, it could be my husband's, and not say anything, and he comes out nice and chocolate, and your husband is caramel.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he looked like my uncle. My uncle dark. See, it skipped a generation.
See, y'all laughing.
All of them dark on my granddaddy's side.
Both of you are laughing, but let me just say from the brothers, that is not funny.
But it happens. I do think because of the maybe, some women take the gamble that maybe he'll look like me, and I'll just say he look like me. And some probably don't know. Some honestly probably don't know.
But wait, that goes back to what I said earlier. The man is. That's the stuff the man is thinking about in that situation. Not only did you go out and have sex, not only did you go out and potentially have unprotected sex, not only did you go out and get pregnant, but you are having sex with this other cat and me in such a close time proximity that you don't even know who the father is.
She don't tell you she don't know. I'm just telling you why she told you it was yours.
But I'm saying because
she's gonna tell you she don't know.
But I'm saying if you tell me, oh, it's your David, it's our baby, and then later we find out that it's not.
She go, how did that happen? She gonna act like it's a miracle.
No, I'm saying if we find out I'm not the father, then obviously you cheated. And if you she
doesn't know what happened. She didn't.
Okay, well, guess what? Guess what? You could pull that.
Immaculate.
See, what she thought was everybody in your family got eyebrows, so her baby had eyebrows. So you
could pull that before the Human Genome Project when it was just serology tests. When they were just saying, "Oh, you A, you got an A blood type and you got a B blood type. Oh, the baby's AB, so
Now
yeah,
you
it's
got
your baby.
B23
No,
now. They
ain't
breaking
no.
it down, huh?
You can't do
You
serology
13
anymore.
Indonesian
If
now.
you
They know
wa-
all kind of stuff now.
you walking around talking about some it's my baby, and we find out later genetic screening says it isn't. You had sex with somebody else, and if you led me to believe it was mine, and I'm sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, we did get drunk the other night, we did get it in, and then we was
Her
having
calculations was off. Get over it.
Okay.
It ain't happening here.
It was
See-
supposed to be
see how
went
the
back. We divided by
No.
3.
See how they
then
laughing?
it came-
See how they laughing? They laughing real hard when it's on the brothers. But see how serious they were in the first half.
I'm still
In the first
serious
half,
on
they
that one,
was
too.
at the first half they was serious as a heart attack.
I'm
boy.
serious over it being not being this that the what I was serious about is it being harder for the man than it is for a woman.
Yeah.
That I think is just is it's hard on both of them. It's not that you guys because you have to see it. I just don't think we can speak for women saying that. I do know that something visual is bad. Yes, we know that
That's all we
because
were
it's
saying.
visual.
That's all we were saying.
But something mental can be just as equivalent, and that's all I was saying.
I'd agree.
Is that my mental might as well be physical because I'm gonna be watching you like you pregnant. I mean, I'm just mentally going to want to shoot you every time I see you. So
And all I was saying
and that was my point.
And all I was saying is that if you're saying how mentally it would be so traumatic processing this, going through this scenario, we were simply saying that for the man, we're dealing with the mental and the visual. That's all we were saying.
Okay. So Steve O'John says a man can't handle his girl having a work husband. So what I know they can't handle her being pregnant by another man. Yeah, the work husband be sending people off. I'm like, I barely know his last name, but okay. Brian Mallory, Elsie Henderson. Oh, he's responding to, so I'm gonna go back down. I think he asked him something. My cousin Bernard. Hey, Bernard said most men cannot handle this. Women deal with this better. I think some women are groomed to deal with this.
It is a society.
Some
So just
women
like she
have
said, my
groomed.
auntie and them deal. This is what we've been dealing with the whole time, and that's what people tell you. They tell you that just because he did that doesn't mean he's not a good man. Is he still?
They will
Look how-
counsel you to stay.
They will counsel you to stay.
Because he takes care of home. He got this one little thing doesn't make him. He take care of you and the kids. Y'all got a good house. You got to get this. That's one little thing. And they'll try to make you the same thing that, you don't have to see her. He's a good man.
The same men who are upset about the all men ain't stuff forget that it comes from their grandmothers and great grandmothers. They're the ones who have passed down, and they necessarily didn't use the word that they ain't stuff, but all men are going to do this. So that's not your criteria for leaving him, like you said. And then comes the counseling of what means of a good man. Staying faithful was not being passed down from your grandmother and your great grandmother onto the women of the world. And now the women of the world who basically say, okay, from what I see, this is true. And it has turned into more derogatory statement. And we argue it, but that's where it came from. It came from.
I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Like,
it's real simple.
I'm saying my mother was born in 1945. Her mother, and she was the youngest of 10 kids. Her mother was born in 1900. So my great grandmother, was a slave. So that's the other variable in if you go back to that generation, they grew up where the men were treated like bucks, and the women were treated like we're gonna put the strongest woman with the strongest male to get some strong babies, and that kind of seeped into our culture. And then right after Civil War we became free. That was still in us, and I think that's still being little by little bred out of our culture, because and that's not even counting the people out there who believe that it's biologically, it goes against our biology to even be monogamous for men, so that can get real complicated when you start talking about the culture part of it and the biology part of it. And our history as Black people. That makes it a little bit more
I
complicated.
do still think there are people who say this. I think that one thing with Toni Braxton and her sitting around with her sisters and their mothers, and Toni and her sisters were agreeing with this, that if a man cheats, if you're not going to do anything about it, just be quiet and let him cheat. And so,
Yeah, I know plenty of women and have been in relationships with women where women will say, whatever you do out there,
Keep it away
just
from me.
make sure you don't bring it home, and we good. You make, as long as you take care of home, do whatever you want to do out there. And a lot of women, especially women who are in the dynamic where their husband is subsidizing or taking care of them, yeah, they're gonna G for that. He paying the car note and putting groceries in there.
But there are women, let's say, there are women that are still staying and they can pay their bills on their own, and they're staying with these situations.
Right. But if that woman is staying, the woman who can't pay her bills is probably definitely staying.
Absolutely.
So they're going back and forth over the scripture of this, because I think LC mentioned that there's a scripture that says you can divorce if something like this happens, and so they are having that conversation.
There
about
are
that.
22 sanctioned reasons in the Bible for you to get divorced. So please don't put that out there that. And infidelity is a sanctioned reason in the New Testament to leave your marriage. Now, if you choose to stay, that's fine. But Paul wrote about if your wife depart in Philippians and in Colossians, I think. So there are 22 different.
Give us some more.
That's another reason.
Yeah, what's the more biblically? Y'all, I didn't know it was 22 of them, boy.
No, there are. I mean, even Jesus in the Gospels, when he was talking to the Pharisees, he said, like it was under the law of Moses. He said, if you're going to divorce your wife, then give her a bill of divorcement. So even Jesus talked about that there are sanctioned reasons in the Bible under Mosaic law to get divorced. He was just simply saying, if you're going to divorce your wife, to like divorce her so you all aren't legally married anymore, so she can go on with her life. Under Orthodox Judaism in the Old Testament, women were property. So, but that's why I hate to get into like religious conversations about this, because it's not even like the Catholic Church, where the Catholic Church teaches one thing and every Catholic church all over the world is, if it's 10,000 Black Baptists and AME churches in Chicago, then they teaching 10,000 different things.
Absolutely.
And 10,000 different interpretations of what the Bible says about blah blah blah. But the bottom line is that divorce is not a sin. Divorce is caused by sin. So we can just leave it there and
that was a T-shirt. I like that one.
I wear that. Divorce is not a sin. Whoa, how does my
divorce
T-shirt
is
go?
not a sin. It's caused by sin.
It's
That was
caused
a
by
T-shirt. So we got hashtag I'm not staying.
sin. I'm out. I'm not staying. I'm not staying. Hashtag I'm not staying. I think we all agree. Okay, we're not staying. You know what? I would like to think now. If I put myself in the situation of young children, maybe I'd think about it. Maybe. No, I don't think. I still would torture him. I think I would.
You would probably still torture him, but you would probably stay. You know what I mean? Because if we go back, for those of us who've been married before and we had children in that, we know. I know, something as dumb even as the logic may seem now, in a better mind, in a better place. But part of my reason for staying was for my kids. When really it wasn't really healthy for the kids, but I made that my excuse and my reason why I was staying, because I didn't want to disrupt them and take them and we on the run, and then what about school, and then they friends and all this, and it don't happen all the time, and so so it's true. So that would be the same situation that anybody makes those irrational things because they think they're doing it for the betterment of
the kids. I think. Now, I may have a tinge of competition then, because then why he's going to go stay with these kids? No, you're going to come stay right here with your own. Well, I'm not going to let you go. And maybe the competition mind would. But I'm talking about if my kids were younger.
When I said that
right
earlier,
now,
I was just crazy.
No, you want everything to be combative.
No, I'm not trying to be combative.
I'm saying
I'm right
now in my present mind, no way I'm competing. To me, that's not even realistic.
And I think
but now I'm trying to put it in the 20-year younger me.
And I think that's why all four of us probably are of like mind right now because we're all at a similar stage of life. Your stage of life, I think, dictates a lot of how you would deal with this situation.
That's what competition
or any
to me
situation.
sounded crazy. Well, who am I competing with? I'm so out of here. But 20 years ago, the 20-year-old me, 20 something, let's say I'm 28, and I have 2 little children, and you have a baby, and I'm going to raise these kids by myself while he goes off with you. I don't think so. He's going to stay here and take care of these 2.
And you're going to get the scraps. I'm going to make sure it's only scraps. You're getting the scraps. You're not going to Disney World.
So hopefully you get
side babies don't get regular baby stuff. Is basically what Valencia is saying.
Don't.
That's basically what she's saying.
I hope I wouldn't think
black and white barrettes only. She don't get red and blue and yellow when I get my
barrettes. Real babies get baby oil, and side babies get Vaseline.
You better make that olive oil in the cabinet.
They get none of that at my house. Go to your mama's house for baby oil and
that. She wants you to have that packet in your bag. You can't use my baby stuff.
Oh, thank goodness. See, that's why God knows who get in these situations too. He know not to get these situations to us people who can't deal with it.
Don't let that baby be cuter than your babies too. Boy. You really can't come over now. Got that good hair. Get from over here. Then I be the meme that we be having. What if they came home and she cut your baby hair? I'm just joking. These are jokes.
Your boy Brian's still going to the bottom of the ocean right now, just so you know.
I'm going to keep him in there with the people who know the Bible. I don't know the Bible. Somehow in my raising, I was raised Catholic. We didn't learn the Bible through it. It was like a reference. It wasn't. I don't have Bible stories. I can't go to tell on the Bible stories. I'm going to have to let y'all go for it. See, though, the hurt from mistrust only hurts me. So can, as a woman and father, take the appropriate perspective of what divorce brings to the table. I would look at the long-term choice to forgive my wife and deal with the issues of why she chose to stray. Well, you know what? That is a very adult thing to say, Brian. You should just focus on why your wife strayed as opposed to focusing on the end result. That's a very adult thing. That's a very,
and that's what I said earlier. That's why some people will stay. That's what I stated earlier, because they go into this self-reflection. Now, at the end of the self-reflection, if they find some fault in themselves, then that gives them that justification or their reason to stay. Me, once I self-reflect, and I know that I cannot understand why the reasons are not adding up with what you're saying. You said you wanted pancakes. I was cooking pancakes. So you went over there because she put some extra butter on the pancake. You should have told me about that new butter. I didn't know about that new butter on there, right? But I've been making your pancakes, and now you over there. So that's your reason why you went over there? I can't stay. Now, you told me you like pancakes. I kept making you French toast, and she made your pancakes. I was making French toast. I did not listen to this man when he said pancakes. So now I justify, okay, maybe I really let her in. And yeah, but if you're saying even after self-reflection, you can't see and you stay, then that's not agape, that's a foule.
Listen, if I'm asking you for pancakes and you making me French toast and I go to Wanda's house for her pancakes, that's the one thing. But if I'm asking you for pancakes and you making me French toast and I'm going over for bedroom bingo, that's something completely different. And my man Brian over here. Okay, that makes the point. My man Brian, I appreciate you being all deep and once upon a time I was in that place. But at the time that I find out that you have betrayed our wedding vows to the point that you've gone out and committed the act of infidelity and being so careless and wantonly careless that on top of that you get pregnant, that is not the time for me to do any self inventory of my culpability of your infidelity.
Why not? Right. Yeah. Please tell us why not.
Because when you watching the news and you see somebody do something on the news and you see them shoot somebody, you don't say, now who sold him that gun? They shouldn't have sold him that gun. No, you say he got the gun. He's the one who committed the crime. If you and I are married and you go out and you commit infidelity, again, that's a conversation that we need to have. Which we wouldn't have because I bounced. But if I was even in a place to have that conversation, the time that's not the time for you to tell me, well, if you had stopped asking for pancakes and just ate the French toast that I ate, I wouldn't have left and slept with old boy. No,
You should have did that before you went ahead,
right,
baby.
right. Because at the end of the day, when you place the culpability on someone else, and or if you accept the culpability, then that removes the responsibility of the person who committed the fault.
Oh no, they don't get rid of the responsibility.
No, but I'm
it's
talking about
not always one side. Even when two people break up, there's still something that one of us.
Let me break in real quick, because my comments when they go, I can't see them no more. And since all the little brothers are chiming in, my little brother chimed in. Hello, Garrick Davis. My maiden name is Davis. Hello, Garrick, my baby brother. He said, "Man, Valencia and Wanda, y'all cold. No hair products, no Disney, no Brown Reynolds skates with orange wheels, and no stop."
Hey, bro.
Up all your skates,
hey, bro.
You're not even going with us, though.
Right.
You ain't even got to talk about your rental skates. Because
you skating at the park up the street. That's all we got in the backyard. When you got to come over here, I'm saying your mama better have your hair combed already.
You sit back there with the broke seatbelt in the van.
And maybe I might have just accidentally missed that stop sign and hit it hard.
You know the one seatbelt that don't pull out. No, baby, you'll see here, boo. Right here, Junior, ex-Junior.
Across the chest, no chest protection. You in the middle.
Listen. It is what it is. All right. It is.
Now, what do y'all think about, like you mentioned, like not knowing if that was your child or not? Do you think DNA, like all parents, they should be getting DNA to make sure in that scenario, which you like, we getting a DNA test right away to find out if that baby, if you stay, because it looked like Brian is the only one staying.
Right, so Brian is the only one staying. I think in 2018, it's wise to get a genetic screening. Regardless of parentage, it's wise to get a genetic screening today because you can find out so much information. You can find out about allergies, and you can find out about genetic predispositions that you have.
Is that how the men come and ask a slick for them tests now? Is that what they
doing? Doing this to find out if you'll have cancer when you get 82.
Amoxicillin is okay when he too.
Prednisone. Prednisone.
I want to make sure he don't start scratching.
Listen,
just in case he need prednisone.
I got eczema. I want to make sure the baby.
And the baby 3 months inside the stomach. I can't. That's the new line, ladies.
That's real talk. I mean, I because I have, I know people all the time, especially for whatever reason, I see it more in interracial couples where a lot of their kids have nut allergies and they don't find out until the kid eats a peanut and almost dies, or they eat some food, or whatever. So I'm saying that we have access to that technology today, and that it's so inexpensive. It's not like it was 20 years ago where if you wanted to get a DNA test it was $2,000. You can get a genetic screening today, and you can find out a lot of information about your child and how to take care of them, and to kind of know what to look out for. You'd be walking around, your kid turns 7 years old and they type 1 diabetic, and you could have found that out and perhaps taking some preventative measures.
We've been living and surviving without doing this. This sounds like a trick question, but no.
That is done.
But you know what? My father used to tell me really seriously. I really don't take offense to it, only because my father told me never be offended if a man asks you if the child is his. Mm-hmm. So coming from my father,
mama's
that
baby,
told me
baby.
that he was like, man, if it's ever a question, you just answer the question, but don't be offended by it. So I'm not offended by it, but I know how it could be offensive to someone. They come in ladies different. They trying to say it's about allergies, even though Kira had to laugh at that. And then my brother Wanda said that he thinks that we would have a change of heart after we would see the children growing together.
I would be nice if I go, and the kid, as long as it's mama, I don't want to deal with baby mamas. I'm just not good with it. Never had to deal with it. Thank goodness. Thank you. I never had to deal with no baby mamas. And if the baby can come without his mama, maybe I would grow to love little Junior. But I better not see your mama because I'm gonna want to kick her ass.
And then the interaction
My
between the
foot
two
going
of
in
them
her
when they
ass.
have to talk, I can't.
I thought it was
My
no cussing
feelings
in
not
it.
set up
No
like
cussing.
that.
Oh, booty, foot, and her booty. Sorry, there is no cussing here, and there's a no profanity zone. If I could turn for you all to see the sign that there's no profanity, but I got mad. I get a little heated over little
I
situations.
see.
I'm like, what?
That's why I asked you in the first hour. I was like, "Are you okay? Are you mad? Did I say something to
No,
offend
so
you?"
I know no baby mamas. So I'm not dealing with no baby mamas. Maybe little. You better not name him Junior either. The name better not be nowhere near your name.
Oh, right.
What's
No.
his first name?
It-
Pick a first name.
Let's call
His
the
name
ba-
is Keith.
Keith.
And then now the
Then the
girl
baby
name
was
You just
KJ.
brought little
Keith
KJ.
Joanna.
No,
Okay, 'cause
KJ.
but it's
KJ.
right.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
we got
be
a problem.
KJ.
I now I'm not the
KJ.
name is just as much as you seeing the pregnant belly and looking at him.
KJ.
If I have to keep calling him that name, I'm going to be
And
pissed.
don't let me have to have two girls, and then she had the boy, and now she got
Oh,
see,
she
it's
got
all
your
pan-
only
oh,
girl.
Lord,
I had all boys,
kill
and I
me
know you
now.
wanted a
yes,
girl.
Yes.
I don't know, Melvin. I don't know if I'm gonna love the baby. I've been trying, but it's getting hard as I talk.
Do you all see the foolishness that's going on here on a hypothetical situation? So you know how it would go down with either one of these women if it happened
Yeah,
in
that's
real
why
life.
we hashtag I'm not staying.
I'm not staying.
They are-
I'm not
they
staying
are-
for you.
Right.
They are snapping off.
I'm saving you from
I'm
They-
saving you from
They
me.
are snapping off in the hypothetical.
I'm saving you from me. I'm saving you for you because honestly, I'm going to drive him nuts. I know me. Is no way I could get past.
But again, even that's different. The two of you would be trying to, that retribution would be, needling the dude and getting mad and blah 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 blah. For a man, I'll at least say for me, that betrayal is. That level of betrayal, if my wife came home pregnant by another man, is so unfathomable to me that it wouldn't even. I don't even want to be around you to punish you because
I don't want to see
because
you.
all of my emotion and all my trust and everything, I didn't put it in a box and doused it in gasoline and set it on fire. So there's, no.
Melvin is so sweet. He said, "I think some fellas could stay if other man turns out to be a deadbeat."
That was my
So
point.
if
That's
you
what I
said
said.
that.
If the
So
man
if
is
the father,
missing,
you never see him, and he's left her high and dry, and he loves the woman. What is the difference of taking care of a woman who had a baby when you met her?
out there, absolutely.
What's the difference?
Yes.
Okay, then what's the difference in me having a baby after we get married and having a baby before we get married?
Well, it depends.
Exactly.
Is she giving you the baby? Do
Exactly.
we never have to see her again?
Right.
That's the thing. So
it's the baby mama come with her.
She's always around.
You
Whereas
are-
if the
see,
man walk
this-
away,
this
nobody we could be. In
I
the
don't know.
picture.
I don't think there's much
This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like.
I agree. It's no different.
You all see the little Melvin Jackson posting up here, and y'all like, "Oh, that's so sweet. He
It
got
is
our
sweet.
back." But then I go do a 180, and y'all like, "Cause my baby ain't gonna be there." No, you can't do that. That's not cool.
I think you're not saying you
No, that's
stay.
a different point. He's
Melvin
making a different
said
point.
he
He just
stay.
said some of the men
Right,
that
he said,
could possibly
right.
stay.
He said because the other cat might be a dead
Yeah,
dude.
You never said
And both
that.
of you all co-signed on that immediately.
Because that's what I said earlier. I said we easier
And I
for
s-
you
and I
as
s-
men because the
You
man
agree
is
with that
absent.
earlier?
And I said, so what if I bring our baby home?
And she
and-
don't have to come.
And the
with
mother's
you no more?
gone.
No, because that's not what you all said. You all said because you all said, well, what you said. Well, you all accept the baby if the baby is there before you get together. So why you can't accept the baby afterward? That's what you said.
But we're saying because it's without the
That's what I'm
father.
saying.
She did say that, but she's talking in reference to not having the father around. So if you got with me as a single mom,
No.
the dad is not involved, you
No.
would get in a relationship with me. So we saying, okay, I made a little mistake.
Different.
Dude gone.
Mm-mm.
It's
Not the
me,
same
you
thing.
smiling. People say
Not the
his
same thing.
eyebrows look like yours. We could play this
You
all.
can't.
I
agree.
agree.
It's
You
not
can't.
the
You
same.
can't.
It's not the
You
same,
can't
but
put-
what I'm saying, what my point was, where the difference came is what I said is the woman has to deal with it more because the woman is
The baby
the
mama
baby
is
mama
a
is never
package
going
deal.
anywhere. Whereas on this side, when a man out in the streets get a woman pregnant that's got to go back home, he out. He gone.
Go back
And
to
so,
your husband.
And so now that I'm back home and he's gone, you don't have that extra layer to deal with me in this interaction with
No,
another man.
the extra layer is that now, even if I found it within myself to
If I found it deep within
right,
myself.
even if I reach down into the deepest recesses of my of who I am, the essence
In
of
your
my
chakra.
being, down in my shanda, down in the way down there. And I said, okay, I'm gonna forgive you, and we're gonna make it work, and blah blah blah. You come to me and ask me for some money for this little bad child. Now I'm gonna be mad all over again.
See,
Where
now you
is his
understand
daddy?
the no
Now it's
Disney
going back.
world. Now
Now
you
it's going.
understand.
Now it's going back to the question that we had back in the day, a couple of weeks
Oh,
ago,
yeah.
about the $20.
Yeah,
To
where's the
send
baby
Junior on the
daddy?
baby. You gonna ask the baby daddy?
The baby daddy gone.
So you right. So you will be. See, you just admitted you would do what we're doing.
No, I didn't.
Why does the women
no,
have
what
the
I
baby?
said was
This gonna
no. What
sound
I said
awful,
was
but-
what I said was.
I don't know why do they. Does their belief no abortions? But a lot of times that
Yeah,
that
can
that,
I-
that
can I
element
s-
keeps.
can I
because,
say-
like you said, she just wants to.
Can I just say something?
Absolutely.
Let me just keep it 100, and I really don't care who hears this, because I've been waiting for somebody to say that so I can say this about what you just said.
Okay.
I absolutely abhor and loathe women who get on their back and and have absolutely no morality, no religion about fornicating, but now all of a sudden you pregnant. I can't kill nothing because it's saying the Bible. Shut your hypocrite. If you wasn't caring nothing about what the Bible said when you was on your back. So now you're with child, and all of a sudden you a devout, got to protect the unborn. Shit, listen.
I don't understand why the wife who has a husband would even keep the baby.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really don't believe in abortions, but you believe in cheating.
But that's what I'm saying.
You
But that's what
said,
I'm
that's
saying.
truly hypocritical.
And the people who don't believe in abortion, it's not some enlightened, heightened view of the sanctity of life. It's usually because, my pastor said, or the Bible say. But you wasn't thinking about the Bible, like I said,
when you was messing with somebody's
when
husband.
you was high and lifted up. So if you gonna be. If you ain't thinking about the Bible when you halude, then you shouldn't be. You may as well listen.
I know it's wrong, y'all. Whoever don't believe in it, but I still. Think
I'm not endorsing.
I'm not endorsing abortions. I'm just wondering
just
why
saying
you don't
didn't
do
exercise
that.
that
I'm not
option,
endorsing.
yeah.
I'm not endorsing abortion. What I am saying is that it's hypocritical to just dismiss the Bible during the making of the baby, and then hold the Bible up when it's time to make a decision about whether or not you're going to bring the baby to term. That's all I'm saying.
I don't. If you got pregnant and the dad may be a deadbeat and won't help, and you're gonna be. I don't understand keeping the child.
And here's another.
I believe in
here's another thing for me. Here's another thing for me. Now the dude is a deadbeat. The dude is a deadbeat. So now I got to think about something else.
How low life you went.
You
and
cheated.
Your choice.
You cheated on that. Like both of you again. And this goes back to the competition thing. Both of you are beautiful women. I've had the opportunity to sit between both of you. This is my second time sitting between you on this show. Both of you are beautiful women. If both of you know, and honestly, in your heart of hearts, that it's one thing to find out that your guy is cheating on you. But if you ever see that chick and that chick look like a skint back wildebeest, you are gonna be on. You gonna be extra hot now, because you thinking, not only did this some motherfucker cheat on me, but you gonna cheat on me with that?
I may be a little bit more okay if she ugly. I'm gonna be more upset if she's pretty.
Better.
She looks better.
Yeah, because I already think it don't get no better than me.
Okay.
And then if you get better than me, I got a problem. But nobody's proving me wrong.
Okay, well, we'll dig this. If you go cheat on me if you cheat on me and you get pregnant, and let's say I decided, okay, we're gonna work it out, we're gonna stay together, and we're gonna blah 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 blah. If this fool staying at home with his mama with no job, got a link card, no car, driver's license suspended, GED,
you wasn't giving her the swag she
no
needed.
dental, won't lace his shoes up, and that's the cat you decided to cheat on me with. Now, whatever I was gonna forgive you about, forget that, because now I can't even respect your decision making anymore. Now I gotta reevaluate what I'm bringing to the table. Right. Like in the store when you smell somebody funky, you be like, somebody funky. Now,
He's like, if you go cheat, you better upgrade.
I got to go back home and write down all of my pros and cons and try to figure out where did listen, God. me with a deadbeat, and then you want me to take care of you and your deadbeat daddy, baby, poor decision making. No, man, no.
What
no,
I feel if
no.
she's ugly, I think I feel a little
Both
bit like
of you-
you're gonna cheat with that, but I still
Both-
feel better.
Both of you, if the woman was
Yeah,
cuter, if the woman was when
That's
wo-
men and women.
when women see
They
when
both
women
feel like
see when women see a man cheats on somebody cuter, they'll kind of like almost kind of excuse it because they really don't want that conversation. You know, no woman.
What she got that I don't got. You see.
Exactly.
You
exactly.
see.
No woman wants to have.
You see.
Who
I
you,
mean,
cheat, who you
yeah.
cheat on me with? Her right
Right,
there.
I'm not gonna
What's her
argue
name?
that point.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
You be like, well,
She crazy. No, I'm gonna argue that one.
well. You just make sure we ain't watching no
You
more of her
want it crazy,
movies.
I'm crazy.
Let me
ain't
find
watching no
out
more of her
you watching
movies.
Losing Isaiah. You gonna lose, all right.
Unless you're giving the money.
But you see
Like,
an ugly chick.
are you getting child support? No,
Y'all-
that's different.
y'all-
We can take
y'all
care of
can
the
talk,
kid.
Y'all can talk all that you want to. Women,
But that's both ways, though.
Yo-
Come on now, don't act like men. Don't be trying to check out the new dude to see and be that. Because the first thing y'all like say, "Oh, that's your little friend. He a
I
little
don't-
mob."
Listen, I'm not that cat.
I know you ain't that cat.
I like I
but
said-
pretend for
like
a
I said,
moment.
like I said,
I know you heard it before.
like I said, I don't care what he looks like, but if he's a deadbeat,
Okay,
it's
so
a
what
wrap.
if he? So what
it's a
if
wrap.
you see him and now? Okay, so you
He
would
drives
be
a
more into.
Mercedes.
Yeah, and he's got his
handsome,
business, and he got
his
he
big-
making six
couple
figures. He can do
businesses.
whatever. He just
Is
then
okay
what?
now?
Are you? Do you feel better or you feel worse?
In that situation, I probably would still leave because I would assume that it was those trappings that he has that I don't that
That
originally
attracted
caught
her.
her attention. And again,
And now you
if
can't live up.
now she's got and because those things attracted her and she got so sloppy and so careless that she got pregnant, the writing's on the wall for me.
We back
Leave
at
him
hashtag
anyway.
I'm not staying.
We back it.
You bringing it back around every time. We got
Like why am I gonna sit here and torture myself? I'm trying to work a double shifted Krispy Kreme over there next to the Target in Hillside they opening, trying to making $12 an hour. I'm trying to get to $15 an hour. Talking about and trying to get a
and he
side
making
hustle.
45 an hour.
And he making
I can't
45 an
compete.
hour.
Yeah.
I can't
Mm.
compete. I can't compete at
Gonna
all.
try to take care of his baby and get some child support
No, ma'am. I'm not
for the family.
You'll just visit us over
I'm-
there at his new house with our
I'm
kids
not-
too.
because you ain't because we gonna have joint custody. All men out there in the state of Illinois, just so that you know, the state of
School.
Illinois cannot deny you from getting joint custody. Joint custody is the minimum that you can get, even as a non-custodial parent. So if you want to see your children,
You can
go to the court.
Yes.
File for joint custody. You're gonna be paying child support anyway if you're the non-custodial parent, but the mother nor the court can deny you joint custody. Having said that, I ain't gonna be coming over there seeing you and Junior and what's the old boy name from Power? That's the catch y'all.
I don't know. I haven't watched not one episode. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I've missed
But
it.
good.
Oh,
Vincent
But
St.
that's
James
good
or
advice
whatever.
about
I
that.
ain't-
Y'all get out there and go find your
I'm
babies.
not-
Even
I'm
if they at home with somebody's husband, go find your babies.
I'm not coming over there. You listen. Put my kids on the porch at 3:00. I'll be there at 2:58 to walk them to the car, and then they could and then let the little boy stand there. Where my brothers and sisters going?
Oh, you ain't gonna take them?
No.
So we
Are you
wait a minute,
crazy?
we was
Are you
wrong. We
crazy?
just
Yeah,
got
you
beat
were wrong.
down for the way we was performing over the
I'm
other
not
kids.
taking nobody.
I
No,
feel you. I ain't
I'm
mad
not.
at you. I just want to know.
My
Right, we
kids
had an
can't bring.
agreement, but you
Yeah.
kind of talked about us when we said he's not going to Disney.
No, I was being quasi facetious because what y'all was saying was hilarious. But but no, my kids can't listen. If you got a pet, the pet got to stay with your mama for the weekend. Let your mama take care of the pet, whatever that is, because we don't have you. No, you can't bring nothing over here. Don't bring nothing.
I have a friend that
Don't
was
bring any
tortured
clothes.
Torture.
by the baby's mother, the child's mother, constantly dropping the child off,
The
and doing
outside.
the outside
Okay.
child, bring the child over when just really kind of made their lives miserable.
She needed
Not
to
like
be
it was a
child
pot.
support.
It's nothing wrong, I guess, with dropping the kid off with his father, but see,
When you
I
trying
make
to
it
just
sound bad.
intrude and you want to just I
When you're
understand.
playing games,
when
with
you're
the child.
playing games, yes.
I
yes.
need to go get my hair did.
You
so
ain't want him
going
when I
over to
brought
your
him over
daddy
there,
house.
so don't come on get him now. Oh, okay, but you knew we was going to Disney where I told you he couldn't go to Disney. You drop and be like the scene in Tina Turner's movie when the lady came. Oh, you're playing daddy now, huh? Well, here you go. Take these two too. You wanna play daddy?
Oh, and I've seen that happen before too, where they drop the child off and like here.
But again, you just need to just go to court for that because you would only do that to me twice. And the second and both times I'd have a police report and then I'd be back in court talking
to get your children gone.
No. I'm saying if you dropping kids off to me randomly,
they're yours.
You still don't drop them off to me randomly.
I'm taking you to court. If we have a baby,
no, because
I said Friday to Saturday.
No, because if you're the wait. If you're the custodial parent, you and I have to have a kid together. And you're the custodial parent. I can't just show up whenever and take my kid.
So you're not gonna be showing up and just dropping them off.
You're just not gonna just be showing up and dropping the kid off. If I said every other weekend, that means this weekend I'm not available.
If I'm available, let me ask you.
I done made
the baby out there like, Daddy's eating.
Then we be on calling 911. My child's mother just left a baby outside my doorstep.
Like it's your baby though.
I'm not opening the door. This how she got me caught up last time, Mr. Officer. I need you to come over here and check this.
Oh
no, that's women. No, you cannot let women get away with that. It's my child. Okay, but again, if we have the situation I have with my daughter, I can pick up my daughter whenever. My daughter can call me whenever, and like even though I'm paying child support, my daughter can call. Like I picked up the other day, she's like, "Dad, for this, I take her to get her hair done. I still buy her clothes. I still blah 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 blah." But that's the type of relationship we had. But if her mother was like, "No, you can only see Maya on the 2nd and the 4th weekend of the month and every other holiday," if that's the way if that's the way her mother was, then no, you get an emergency, you get a babysitter. I'd be telling Maya, "I'm sorry, baby. You gonna have to go ask your mother for. She got some money because I send it to her every month. So you gonna have to go ask. You know what I'm saying? But because of Maya's mother and I, because we work together and we have a working relationship for the betterment of my daughter. Now it wasn't always like that, but that it's like that now. Then that makes me be more flexible. But if you want to go by the letter of the law, then we gonna go by the letter of the law.
I agree, because then that person gets to become manipulative, and then that's when you have what you're speaking of, that outside chick that can just run your life with the child. So
and that's some dude who's not taking care of his business.
That all makes sense. This has been wild.
How did we wind up here? We was talking about the are you pregnant? And it's not by you.
All ties in. Yeah, it all ties together.
Everybody said they was leaving except for Brian Mallory.
Brian Mallory.
Is Brian Mallory a reverend?
He must be a reverend.
Are you a minister, Brian Mallory? Please put on here if you're a minister.
Why you got that face? Why you saying his name? like Brian Mallory said. He was
Brian Mallory. Are you
like you crazy?
Are you a minister? And what church do you preach at? Because I'm not coming in. I don't want to hear that.
Why you say that?
I ain't trying to go to his church and have him tell me to stay with my wife's
no matter what
side baby.
Yeah, right. No matter what. Love her.
And then he gonna tell me it's my fault. You need to find out why your wife cheated on you, player. That's what you really need to do.
I think your brother Melvin may stay too.
You need to check yourself.
I think and see, once again, he may, but like he said, those circumstances are when that man is not there. That when the man is not present. None of them are nobody wants to be dealing with that opposite sex. So I think he probably would stay, or maybe he tries to be logical.
Nice.
He likes to
He's very logical. Thank you, Melvin. That was very sweet. I'm not staying, and only because I'm not going to be able to deal with your baby mama. I don't do well with baby mamas. I'm not going to do well with baby. And I don't want to change your baby's diapers. I'm so done. No, not doing nothing with your baby.
Brian Mallory, again, just real quick, because I just saw your post. You said, "No, I'm just a husband, Christian, and a father." So again, I was being silly. I'm not on here trying to judge any man or woman for that matter, or anyone on whatever decision that they make. I just don't. Again, the Bible that I read, if my wife goes outside of our marriage and she commits an act of infidelity, and it results in a baby, in either one of those situations, I have a choice on whether or not I want to stay in that marriage. And at the end of the day, everybody's got to do what works for them.
He has a choice, and he really honors his vows.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm affirming what he said. Yeah. Everybody, that's why I said everybody's got to make the decision that's best for them, and just hope that it never gets this deep.
Melvin said no.
That means he's not. That means hashtag he not staying.
Hashtag he gone.
He was just trying to give y'all other side of
another
the
side.
Yeah, just
and
another
that
way to
really
look at
did help, because that was another thing that maybe when the dad is totally out of the picture and I don't have to deal with him, and I see that my wife will need me, and we may have other children together, that to be a stand-up guy. And there are some men who are like that, who will stand up for women who need them.
You still a stand-up dude if you don't stand.
And you're a stand-up dude. But I do, like I said, I believe in abortion. I said, don't even bring that baby home. I know that sounds bad, but don't even bring that baby home to your husband. You may want to. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I know that's wrong, Brian.
No, that's real talk. Like some like that show we were talking about, secrets. Some stuff doesn't need to. If it doesn't need to be said, then if you've made up your mind, I'm not going to see this guy anymore, I'm done with him, I'm going back to my husband, then why bring back why complicate the situation like that?
And hopefully they do work on the cheating, though, because I don't want to act like that's a normal thing,
right,
and the problem is the baby.
It's very normal for black.
What you say?
I'm just kidding. I'm just serious.
No, he's serious. That is normal. He said. Y'all heard him.
Monogamy is a sin.
Devin said, "What?"
I'm just playing, baby, in case you're listening.
Right. He got a whole wife who about to kill him, and she better be glad she don't watch the show.
She does. She probably watch.
Melvin said, "I'm not staying. I won't take it out on the outside kid. My kids are coming with me." Mm. And then Brian said, "I went to high school with O'Kara." Okay, Brian. He was a good guy back in the day. Why you making it sound like he's not anymore? And I was supporting. That's more what he was doing. He said, no. That's sweet, Brian. Thank you for supporting. Keep listening. He said, she said on Sundays at 2:00. I appreciate you. The time is winding down. Thank you, guys. Devin said, what if the dad comes back into the picture years later? Oh, you want to really complicate the story, right? After he's walked away initially. No, I'm going to tell him, no, if I was the wife, the doors would be locked. We didn't fix this. We didn't patch this up. You better go. You are not wrecking you know, I already damaged some things. Dude, leave this child. It has a father now.
Just so
Goodbye.
you know, Devin Webster, he commented earlier on the show. He said, "This is a great discussion. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You just earned a new viewer."
Oh, thank you, Devin. I so appreciate that. You can also think about you guys. If you want to be a guest on the show, I'm always looking for new thoughts, new opinions. So inbox me about that if you'd like to do that. The time it went by so quickly. We were going to have another topic, but we got so like, woo, we got in our feelings a little bit. We came out, we got back in, we came out, and now that child is gone somewhere. We got rid of the kid. He ain't going to Disney. Hashtag we're not staying. Yes. Thank you, everybody who tunes in. And he said, she said, I appreciate you every week, 2 p.m. for doing that. Please come out. We got some bedroom bingo. It ain't your mama's bingo. You can go to info at becomingdateable.com. Get your tickets to play if you want to play. Or just come out and have some fun. You don't have to play the bingo if you don't want to play. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be hot. Yeah, don't come looking for side chicks to have babies with, though. Right. Stay home with your wife or bring your wife too. This is a family event. No, it's not a family event.
How's it gonna be a family event?
It's not family. Family is husband and wife.
69.
69.
Oh.
Have O's on 69. Thank you for coming, David. You got anything happening?
We should be bringing back humanity in the headlines within the next month, I believe. We will be back on Intellectual Radio, chopping it up, getting you ready for this midterm election coming up in 2018.
Yes, and Valencia.
I'm just on Facebook, just chilling and working on some things for early next year. So as I get closer, and it is kind of closely related with relationships and trying to give some healthier tools and options.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in. Tucson, thank you always for being. You all are like the co-host in the computer. Thank you, LC, my stepping guru. You got to check out his classes Saturday at Palmer Park. One of the best stepping instructors. Love him. Thank you for tuning in. John Russo, thank you for sharing. Nikki, thank you for chiming in. Little brother Melvin, he's a little older.
He's my little brother.
Little brother Melvin.
When I say that.
My little brother, I don't care if he hated or not. Little brother Garrett, thank you. I beat him up still. Thank you. I wouldn't beat him up. But thank you guys. Thank you. If I left out names, Devin, thank you. New viewers. See you next week. Same time, same place, 2 p.m. He said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com.
Oh, he said, she said, they said, we said, we used to live real with Wanda. Oh,